blond-haired man in an expensive-looking wool overcoat knelt beside him, offering profuse apologies. "My dear sir, I'm so sorry. Are you all right? That was clumsy of me, terribly clumsy." He gripped Kiryanov's arm tightly with both of his gloved hands. "Here, let me help you back up." The Russian pathologist felt something needle-sharp stab deep into his flesh. He opened his mouth to cry out and then realized in mounting horror that he could not breathe. His lungs were paralyzed. Vainly, he tried to draw in the air he desperately needed. His arms and legs twitched and quivered as more of his muscles locked up. Terrified, he stared up at the man leaning over him. A faint smile ghosted across the other man's thin lips and then vanished. "Do svidaniya, Dr. Kiryanov," he murmured. "You should have obeyed orders and kept your mouth shut." Trapped in a body that would no longer obey the commands of his mind, Nikolai Kiryanov lay rigid, soundlessly screaming as the world around him faded into utter and unending darkness. His heart fluttered futilely for a few moments, and then stopped. The blond-haired man stared down at the open-mouthed corpse for a second longer. Then he looked up at the ring of curious bystanders drawn by the commotion, donning a mask of astonished concern. "Something's wrong with him," he told them. "I think he's had some sort of fit."
"Maybe he cracked his head too hard when he fell. Someone should call a doctor," a stylishly dressed young woman suggested. "Or the militia."
The blond man nodded quickly. "Yes, you're right." Carefully, he stripped off one of his thick gloves and pulled a cell phone out of the pocket of his overcoat. "I'll punch in the emergency number." Within 2 minutes, a red and white ambulance pulled up to the curb and stopped. The blue flashing light on its roof strobed across the small knot of onlookers, sending jagged, distorted shadows dancing across the pavement and nearby buildings. 2 burly paramedics jumped out of the back, carrying a portable stretcher, followed by a weary-looking young man in a wrinkled white coat and a thin red tie. He carried a heavy black medical bag. The ambulance crew doctor bent over Kiryanov for a moment. He checked the fallen man's fixed and staring eyes with a small penlight and felt for a pulse. Then he sighed and shook his head. "This poor fellow is dead. There's nothing I can do for him now." He looked around the circle of faces. "Right, who can tell me what happened here?" The blond-haired man shrugged his shoulders expressively. "It was an accident. We bumped into each other and he slipped and went down on the ice over there. I tried to help him up, but then he just, stopped breathing. That's really all I know." The doctor frowned. "I see, sir. Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to ride along with us to the hospital. There are forms to fill out, and the militia will want to take an official statement from you." He turned to the rest of the bystanders. "What about the rest of you? Did anyone else see anything useful?" There was silence from the crowd of bystanders. They were edging back with carefully blank faces, already drifting away down the street in ones and twos. Now that their initial burst of morbid curiosity was sated, no one wanted to risk wasting an evening answering inconvenient questions in one of Moscow's dreary, dingy emergency rooms or police stations. The young doctor snorted cynically. He motioned to the 2 paramedics with the stretcher. "Load him up, let's go. There's no point in wasting any more of our time out here in the cold." Moving fast, they bundled Kiryanov's body onto the stretcher and slid it into the back of the ambulance. One of the paramedics, the white-coated doctor, and the blond-haired man climbed in beside the corpse. The second paramedic slammed the door shut and got in beside the driver. With its lights still flashing, the ambulance pulled out into Tverskaya Street's heavy traffic and headed north. Safe now from prying eyes, the doctor deftly rifled through the dead man's pockets and then under his clothing, checking and then discarding the pathologist's wallet and hospital ID card. He scowled at the others. "Nothing. There's nothing. The bastard is clean." "Take a look inside this," the blond-haired man suggested dryly, tossing him the package Kiryanov had been carrying. The doctor caught it, tore off the wrapping paper, and ripped open the candy box. Manila folders full of documents tumbled out across the corpse. He scanned through them quickly and nodded in satisfaction. "These are the photocopied case records from the hospital," he confirmed. "Every last one of them." He smiled. "We can report a success." The blond-haired man frowned. "No, I do not think..."